Apple taking a bite out of Donald Trump, dropping their support for the Republican convention because of the presumptive nominee. Why? Apparently, it's in protest to some of Trump's comments in the past. But should the company be getting political? Let's talk to Wayne Allen Root. He's the author of The Power of Relentless, and he's also a Trump supporter. Wayne joins us today from Las Vegas. Good morning to you, Wayne.
Hey, Steve, how are you? Good morning.
I'm doing okay, but apparently Apple does not like Donald Trump, and so they suddenly, they've had a brilliant business model. They've got gizmos we all love, but now, as it turns out, they don't like the Republican nominee.
Very, very big mistake. Tragic, and I think Tim Cook will regret this decision, the CEO of Apple. As you know, Steve, I'm on with you guys all the time. I'm very political, but I don't mix it with my business. I don't tell my customers how they should vote. I don't tell the Democratic Party what they should believe in. If I did that, I'd be out of business really quick. And I think Apple has a big problem now because there are, 60 million odd Republican voters? If every one of us pulls our support of Apple products or sells our Apple stock, I think the board will very quickly make a decision to fire Tim Cook. Disastrous mistake, and I would call for a boycott. I think a smart move now is every Republican in America should boycott Apple products and should pull their support of Apple stock until this decision is made to fire Tim Cook. What a terrible, terrible, prejudiced, biased mistake by the CEO of Apple Computers.
When you think about Apple, though, while we love, the design and everything else, whether it's an iPod or an iPad or whatever, it's made in China. Isn't this really kind of the company that Donald Trump has been talking about? They ship the jobs overseas where things are cheaper.
Well, that's exactly what I was thinking. He's just bringing attention to the practices of Silicon Valley, which I think in many ways are bad business practices. But again, I'm very libertarian-oriented, free market-oriented. You have a right to do what you want if you're a company, but I'm someone who supports Donald Trump, and I believe in America first. And I believe companies like Apple are not only shipping jobs overseas where they pay people subhuman wages, but on top of that, the workers in the United States are very often brought in on HB1 visas, and they're bringing in foreign workers to replace very smart Americans that graduate great American universities. So Apple is offending me in various ways. I'm a big Apple customer. I use the iPhone. I use the iPad. I have an Apple desktop. I have an Apple laptop. I have 4 kids, and I've got multiple businesses. They all use Apple products. I don't know if Tim Cook gets it, but you just offended people like me, every Republican in America. I no longer want to buy Apple products. If they don't make a decision, a change in direction very quickly, as in this week, they've lost me as a customer forever.
Well, it's interesting. I know you told a producer who talked to you yesterday, when Hillary said last year, businesses don't create jobs, government does. Did I ask Apple to boycott the Dem convention? And you look at there are a number of companies that are pulling their sponsorship from the RNC. There's Apple, there's Ford Motor Company, Hewlett Packard, JP Morgan Chase, Motorola, UPS, Walgreens, Wells Fargo, to name a number of them. What does that say to the average Republican or conservative or somebody who leans to the right about those companies?
Well, look, I have a new book coming out in September. It's called Angry White Male. And I think it sums up how a lot of us feel. You can be prejudiced against only one group in America, white males. Nobody ever pulls out of anything if you say something nasty to a business owner, a Republican, or a white male. But everyone else is very touchy. Steve, I'm sick of it all. To be honest with you, every time there's a terrorist attack by an Islamic extremist, I'm angry at Barack Obama that he won't even say the words Islamic extremist or Islamic terrorist in the same sentence. Why don't they pull out of the Democratic convention because Americans are being killed and Westerners are being killed all over the world? Yeah. And Barack Obama is obviously extremely sympathetic, at least, to the Muslim cause or to Muslim religion. That offends me, but I've never asked any business I do business with to get involved with politics. This is a very big mistake. You've offended millions of people like me, whether you want to call me an angry white male or you want to call me a Republican, a conservative, a capitalist, or a constitutionalist. What about my rights? What about my views? Does anybody care? Because I spend a lot of money in America. I think you better start caring.
There you go. Wayne Allen Root, who just called for a boycott of Apple until they change their decision to go and not support the Republicans. By the way, we reached out to Apple for comment, but they did not respond. Wayne, thank you very much for joining us today from Las Vegas. We look forward to your new book.
Thanks, Steve. I'm not surprised they didn't respond.
Me neither, actually. All right. Thank you, sir.